Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
What is going on, everybody? This is Mike Hughes, and you're listening to the All Sports All Plays Network. Today, we have a special guest. Allexia Barros is coming on the show, a friend of Conman. Out of anybody on the panel, Conman has reached in contact with one of the most legitimate hoopers coming out of Massachusetts. Allexia, how are you today? Thank you.
I'm good. How are you? Appreciate the opportunity.
We're good, man. It's been great. We're just doing Wnba work over here. Hopefully, we'll be covering you sometime soon.
Yes, we're manifesting it all.
100%. And it's one of those conversations, though, you know, we're really going to dive into it today, kind of talk about your game and how it's so much different. I have truly have faith in you. I've watched your game. I've watched so much of you. And, you know, it's one of those conversations. We have a great player I'm a great friends with on the Chicago Sky. We interview her a lot. Rebecca Gardner. I don't know if you followed her game, but she's played overseas her entire career. And her rookie seasons this year, she's 30 years old. And now she's on one of the best teams in the WNBA. And probably sniffing that ring pretty soon. So yes. It's definitely something that, you know, the work just continues to be made. And we really want to just break it down with you. And for people who don't know Lex, and people who haven't started her following yet, how would you describe yourself as a player?
A leader, confident. I try to, especially as a point guard, I want to know about my teammates, like what they can do, what position they are. I'm saying what's their pros and their cons of their game, being able to help them and just grow from that. And I'm on a new team now, so it's going to be a little hard for me to do that right now. I have my first game tomorrow, so I'm excited to get into that with them and just we got a lot of weapons, so I'm just going to be getting assist after assist. So I'm excited for that.
That's the best way to go about it. And for you, you know, I even looked into your game and kind of noticed you're kind of a sneak. You're kind of a sneak. You know, you're listed as a point guard, but that's bullshit because you're a two-way guard 100%. Yes. You could do whatever anybody wants you to do. And for you, how important was that to build that into your game to be able to say, you know, you could put me wherever you want to and I could facilitate the floor the same way?
'Cause I'm small. I'm a small guard and I have to do that. You know what I'm saying? I have to be able to play different positions. And I'm focused more on my mental part of the game too, so I can be able to play anywhere, you know what I'm saying, and play with anyone. Right. So that's what I've been working on the most, just elevating my game in any way that I can.
100%. And you kind of talk about the mentality of it and growing up in Massachusetts. I'm in the middle of Chicago right now, and, you know, hooping, personally, I knew my limit. I really did. I'm 5'8". I knew my limit. After
you're taller than me.
After freshman year of high school, I was like, all right, these guys are getting pretty big. I think we're done. But it came down to it to where I realized I was better watching the game and scouting the game than everything else. But for you, growing up in such a tough city, and people don't realize that Massachusetts is what's up. It's real. Right. So growing up like that, especially being a woman in sports, how were the runs? How were the rec leagues like that? Were you going up against the boys?
Yes, I played against boys my whole life. And I also, I have a twin brother. We always went head to head when I was younger. But I always played against the guys. I'm never back down. I'm not afraid of anyone. I don't care how big you are, how tall you are. It don't matter. I'll go after you. And that's just my mentality. And like you said, Massachusetts is rough, you know, and that's what it's inside of me too. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, growing my game and just keeping that fight in me, you know, that no one can stop me. And that's how I'm elevating every day. It's only me versus me. I don't care if you're a male or a female. You challenge me, it's over. Don't challenge me in a game. There's no mercy. I'm telling you.
100%, 100%. You kind of remind me, Kalia Copper reminds me so much of you. It's just because she's straight from North Philly, and I think, or North or South, and she said the same exact thing. She was like, "Yo, it's me versus you at the end of the day. Like, I
Mhm.
have to do this." And
Yes.
for you, we talk about high school, and high school is so different. And if we could get into your high school game for a little bit, but also having that understanding of going to community college. I had to go to community college. I've met a lot of people who are real hoopers, whether it be because of academics or whether it be because of something else. What kind of led you to that role in understanding, hey, I understand this isn't where I want to be. Everybody wants to be at the D1 school,
Right.
but at the end of the day, like what steps did you know you needed to take in order to get to this next level?
Well, I know a lot more now than I did when I was in college. But it's just a journey. Like you need to go through stuff to be able to get to where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, especially community college. I didn't expect much, but I expected a lot from myself to be able to get through everything that I went through. Even when I went to the school in Canada, I went to University of Lethbridge. Even that was a tough experience. It didn't go so well. Like I literally had to quit school and get a job, and I had to get myself home. You know what I'm saying? Like there's different journeys through everyone's story. So I just try to look at it like a learning experience. And I did damage in both schools. So that's
Right.
all I care about the most.
Right. And we don't, I don't want to jump around with you too much.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were
No,
going to
you
go everywhere with it and
Yeah.
we're going to dive into it. But, you kind of talk about going into places you have no business being in. Like
Mhm.
that's really what it, like, that's how I would look at it. I'd be like, why
Right.
am I here? You go to South Africa, you go to Canada, you go to
Mhm.
all of these foreign countries. And it's not too off rip. Like it's still
Right.
like in the ballpark, it's like it
I
is
was
what
in
it
the
is.
middle of nowhere. Like,
Yeah, but
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
what I'm saying is like,
Yeah.
you get to these places and it's like, okay, they kind of speak English and they kind of remind us of people at home, but
Right.
I'm in the middle of a forest and there's not anybody near me for 100 miles. Like that's crazy to me. So for you, especially the Africa part, like going there, understanding, you are the foreign person. And it's so different from being in typical America where we look at someone who's foreign and we single them out. And
Right.
now it's like I'm the person that's singled out
Singled
and
out.
they know me as the typical American. For you, not only just being a player and transitioning into that in a grown woman's league, like what was that like for you just to kind of comprehend where you were and just live day to day?
Yeah, that's it. Like I just took on day by day. Especially like this, a lot of people don't speak English. And some of my teammates have had to translate stuff for me. But I love the game of basketball so much that I don't even think about Liam saying like where exactly I'm at and everything that I have to go through. I just stay calm and let it come to me. But I love Africa. I love going there. I call Cape Verde my second home. Like it's dope. Like and the fans they know you that you're not from there right away. They got that off rip. Some are loving and some hate you, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still it's still a part of the game. And I just love the game so much that I'll go anywhere. Literally,
Right.
I'll go anywhere and I'll play and I'll figure it out on my own. The environment, I'm saying the food and all that stuff, the people, like that will come naturally to me day on a daily.
Right. And you also, we're bouncing a little bit, but it's so crazy because I look at your story and it's all around the same time frame. Like we're looking at you, the same time you're in community college is around the same time you're in Africa. Like it's such a small window, and
Crazy.
you were living your life for a span of probably like 2 to 3 years, and still are.
Mhm.
But for you, we're really looking at an All-American, a champion, an MVP, all in community college. Obviously, the talent in community college is much different than a D1 school, but
Right.
nonetheless, there's people who slip through the cracks, and you're without a doubt one of them. And it's one of those conversations where everybody just kind of understands, she shouldn't be here. Like she's a hooper for real. So can you
Right.
kind of
I
just,
hear I hear that a lot.
yeah,
I hear
like,
that a lot, but it's a part of me.
mm,
Like I can't just snap my fingers and I'm in the league. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And that's why I work so hard because I'm constantly getting no's, you know what I'm saying? Constantly getting pushed to the side, but you just got to keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you can't let that stop you. And that's my mindset right now. Just elevating myself as a person, as a coach, as a player, and just trying to weave through the bumps in the road. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
just keep my eyes on my goals and in my future.
For sure. And you kind of take us through that MVP season, and you have this All-American type season. What kind of went through your mind in thinking, okay, I think I'm doing everything I can, but what went into that? Because community college or not, those are some accolades. Those are some accolades to sit down and be like, yeah, I did that. So for you, like, what were those seasons like in community college in Rhode Island? And really, what was it like in general with your teammates having those conversations?
Honestly, I have never sat down and like literally congratulated myself for everything that I accomplished. It's because I'm so hard on myself and I just want more, you know. But in college, especially my freshman year, that we had a good team. And it was just, I don't know how to explain it. It was just a great feeling to be able to be around those type of people and still be able to grow my game. Because I didn't start that much. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn how to play with different people. Because you know what I'm saying, in community college, there's people all over the place. You know, everyone is different. You got to learn them on and off the court. Because
Right.
you live with half of them. You know what I'm saying? So that's another experience in its own. And my coach was wonderful. Even my second year at community college, it was a little rocky. We lost a lot of people, and we had we had all guards on our team. I was playing the post on defense and point guard on offense, so it was hard to still keep going with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I just put my all into every game that I go into. Every game I'm trying to get better. I actually had one of my good friends. We kind of played the same position both the years at CCRI, and we would like challenge each other. Let's see how many threes you can make a game. I'll buy dinner on you. You know what I'm saying? How many steals you can get, how many assists you can get, and that helped elevate our game also. But it was just all fun and down to business
For
there. So,
sure.
yeah.
For sure. And, you kind of talk about like that elevating with your teammate and just really being there and trying to say, how many steals are you going to get a
Yeah.
game? Lex, you didn't, you told me a lot about yourself, but you didn't tell me you averaged 4.3 steals a game at Lethbridge. What is that like? You're averaging 4 steals, and not rebounds, 4 steals a
Yes.
game, and about 3-4 assists. Like for you, what went into that and understanding, okay, I'm at a university now overseas
Yeah.
technically,
Yeah.
but right across the street, but
Right.
anyway,
Right.
but it's definitely something to really take notice on for you. I know you don't pat yourself on the back all the time, but to understand you came into that university in 2015 and just balled out. What did you think in your mind was the next steps? Did you think the WNBA was going to give you that call, or were you kind of just thinking, I still need to do more, I still need to stay here a little bit longer and strive more?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to stay longer. But I was just trying to grow my game into a different level, especially on my defense. Like I need to build on that. You know what I'm saying? I need to be able to get steals. I need to be able to lock up the best guard that they have on their team. And I praise myself on that too. Even now, like my defense has gotten way better. Like I don't shut up on the court. Like I'll lose my voice by halftime, and you can hear me outside. Like that's how big I am on my defense. And just being at that school I was away from home and I wanted to do it better. You know what I'm saying? From going from the last season to what I had at CCRI, I wanted to go into the Canada team and just explode. And I feel like I did that, but now I feel like I can do it even more. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Just from that experience, just the situation was a little rough, and I still played as good as I could, um, and yeah, just that situation was crazy. But it was a good learning experience. At the end of the day, I don't regret any of it.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm just using that as fuel also.
And can you kind of take me into obviously you have an agent, obviously you have so much other help that really brings you into games. But we're talking about Canada, Portugal. We're talking about places like Brazil and Africa, like places all around the world that you're playing right now in these tournaments. How do you really get into those, or how are people looking at you or inviting you to these camps? Because not even just talking about how much you've balled out in every single one of these tournaments. Like I'm looking at the stats. You're shitting on everybody around the world. Like that's really just what it is. And that's just to be real about it. Like we're gonna get some people in the comments soon probably talking about, all right, well, you should be generous about that. No, she's talking about 5 steals a game, dropping 15 on everybody's head. You were balling out all around the world. But for you, what kind of goes into that? Like, because I know myself, I'm a baseball player. So it's either you get that call, or, hey, can you fill in on this day for this, or not? And it's like you never really have constant contact with those organizations. It's just kind of like an on the whim kind of thing. Is it kind of the same concept with that?
Well, I play for the Cape Verdean national team, so we have tournaments every 2 years, like the FIBA tournament. But our qualification games are also every 2 years. We got to play. We play Guinea twice. We play them 2 times in a row, and then that's how we qualify for the FIBA tournament.
Right.
And it's just, I just love playing out there. And how I play is like every game is my last. And, I don't know who's watching. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's going to see this, So I go out with my all in every game and just do what I can because I know what I want. You know what I'm saying? I know the goals that I want to get. And I take each game like I'm going to get there. You know what I'm saying? There's someone watching me today, and I need to be on my A game so I could get that call any daytime. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's how I don't know. That's how I look at it. I'm just trying to elevate my game every day, just study it and build off of different teammates that I have. Even I coach now, I train, and that's helping me learn the game also. So just little things to help me grow is what I'm doing.
It's honestly insane. Like not even like just to piggyback off it. Like I started coaching this year. I started coaching for my former high school that I used to play for, and I'm walking in there like, okay, I'm gonna teach these kids everything I knew. And I walked out thinking, wow, like some of these kids actually taught me a little bit something about the game that I never even thought about. And some of them taught me some stuff where I don't even want to think about it. I'm just like, I don't even know what some of y'all were doing or what was going through y'all mind. But even those are like good instances where you're looking at it like you're learning so much from so many people at the same time. And you're going all around the world learning different versions of the game. But real quick, before we get you out of here and really just hype you up throughout ASAP the rest of the way, how do you get to LA and how do you get to this team right now where you're really looking at the LA Maine Maples and you have your first game tomorrow? And if you can get into it, I don't know if you know like the channels or what's going on, but where can the people watch you and what can we expect from this team?
So how I got on this team is my Trailblazer team, unfortunately, we're not having a season because of there's not enough players. And we didn't promote it, you know what I'm saying? They didn't do enough. But I played against the main team 2 weeks ago in this their opening game, and literally saying good game at the end of the game, saying good game to the other team. And the coach just comes up to me and offers me a position, like the point guard position. And it's 3.5 hours away from where I am now. But I instantly was like, just yes, and just talk to my agent and we can get this started. Because all I want to do is play. You know what I'm saying? And this team is really good. They got a lot of weapons, and I'm just still getting used to them. Still got to get over the plays, the defense. You know what I'm saying? My teammates, and I believe we have a YouTube channel, the LA Maples YouTube channel, and they have an Instagram page, and I also have my own YouTube channel that people can check out too. But I believe it will either be live on YouTube or on their Instagram page also. And I'll be posting it everywhere so people can see and get the link. I'm very excited about this game tomorrow, the first one, and I can't wait to see what we do on the court.
For sure, Lex. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show today, and we are definitely going to pump your name out as much as we can on all the WNBA shows, all the basketball shows. And we wish you the best of luck, truly.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, we appreciate you guys watching the show today. We'll check you guys out later. You can find WNBA games post-game, Chicago Sky tonight. Gonna be busting everybody's ass. Definitely check it out. Again,
I'm so sad Candace Parker is her last year. I love her.
Oh, 100%. We can hook it up. We can hook it up, Lex, for sure. But with that being said, this is Mike Hughes. This is Lex Barros. We're out of here.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.